Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Ocean City Boardwalk. This is the Ramp Booth, exclusively on A2D Radio. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, Twitch. You miss anything here on A2D Radio, download us in podcast form, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio. Down here at All Campus for a pregame for the Washington football team and the Philadelphia Eagles, a game that obviously has monster playoff implications for the Philadelphia Eagles. We got things going on around the league. It's Championship Sunday. In fantasy, we'll have our bets. We'll have game picks. We'll wrap around the Philly sports and the sports scene. You know, we had a college football playoff to talk about. An unfortunate injury last night in the Sugar Bowl to Matt Corral. It stinks, though.
That's a poor kid. That's a shame because everyone has the chance to opt out. He chose to, in my opinion, do the right thing and maybe build up his stock. And he's going to pay for it. He's going to pay for it with his future, with his financials. That's a big loss for him. It's a shame.
Yeah, I bet you dollars and donuts that he's the Eagles' second-round pick if he popped his ACL. I guarantee that right now. QB factory galore there. Matt Corral, bum knee, second-round pick. Sign him up. Sign him up. Sit a year. Put him in the factory. And then if Hurts doesn't work out,
there's our guy.
There's your guy, Matty Corral. Oh, well, you just hear Howie now. Oh, need a guy with that talent.
Oh, this is the best thing ever.
Well, if you get a guy with that talent in the second round, even though he's damaged goods, we just had to do it.
I hope that doesn't happen. But let's go on.
Washington football team, Philadelphia Eagles, come on down. We're at All Campus. Not doing anything. We got cornhole set up. Potential 40% off. Hat in hand, 4 shots, up to 40% off. You're an A2D member, you get 20% off. Become an A2D member. Get members-only shout-outs, perks, giveaways, the picks from the Money Pot podcast, which just went off the air. We'll give our game picks later. But, John, I'm almost like – I think it's elementary at this point. Like, I think this Philadelphia Eagles football team is going to the playoffs.
I think so. I think this is – I'm not going to say a roll game, but this should be a sit down, have a cold beer type of game and not have to really sit on the edge of your seat, hopefully, which should put us in the playoffs with the situation going on in Minnesota, which is a mess.
Football Power Index has us, the Eagles, when I say us, as a 65% chance to make the playoffs. Yeah. I think it's all wrapped up today. Remember, we got the Ramp Booth next week down at the link in their Jetro lot.
Yep.
In the Jetro lot. So, Eagles, Dallas, maybe it'll mean something. Maybe it won't. It don't matter. We're going to be down there.
As long as it doesn't get flexed.
As long as we don't get flexed out.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get flexed. I think the NFL learned their lesson last year, putting a bunch of stinky NFC East games in the flex spot. And you got the Steelers and the Ravens dialed up right now. I think they're going to milk that Big Ben
his last game.
But I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep it locked here on A2D Radio. We'll get you covered.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know.
Plan right now, 1 o'clock game. We're raging down at the link. Eagles, Cowboys, one of the best rivalries in the NFL. But as we said to start the show, I think this is a foregone conclusion that the Eagles are in the playoffs. I would be utterly shocked if this team does not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I'm going to choose with the poll question. The poll question is brought to you by A2D memberships, $9.99 a month. You get special, amazing perks, including shout-outs, members-only shows, appearances, and weekly picks from the Money Pot podcast. Also brought to you by All Campus. All your hats down here at the Jersey Shore. All Campus between 10th and 11th Street. We're here every Sunday ranting and raving about all things sports. But like I said, foregone conclusion. The Philadelphia Eagles will have to face the Dallas Cowboys in the first round of the playoffs. Do you agree or disagree? That's what I want.
That's what I want. Right. If we have the choice of the team that we get, it's going to be them. Now, there's a chance of us possibly moving up to the 6th seed, which I think would be beneficial for us.
A little bit, but is it though?
I don't think Dallas is going to be the 2 seed. I do think that they're going to win today and throw the brakes on next week. I don't think they have a chance. Well, they may have a chance at first place, I guess, then, right?
Look, no one's won any football games this week yet.
No,
we haven't played.
True.
And, they play the games for a reason. I know, we got the Vikings and the Packers. I believe that's the Sunday night game. Sean Mannion, he's going to play because Kirk Cousins is unvaccinated, tested positive. He can't play. And then you have the Niners, which it's actually, if the Niners win and the Eagles win, I believe that clinches a playoff spot.
Correct.
For the Eagles. Now, I know you want to get up to the 60. Look, I said it last week on the Sports Hounds. I think the Eagles have a 0% chance to beat the Packers or the Bucks in the playoffs. I'll give them a 5 to 10% puncher's chance against Dallas, the Rams, and Arizona.
Arizona, I'm okay with. Dallas, I'm okay with. The Rams, I think, are going to be a little tougher. That front with Aaron Donald and stuff.
Ramsey on the back end there.
Yeah, Von Miller and stuff. That front's going to be a little bit harder to run against, I think.
I mean, all due respect to Matthew Stafford, who I'm a big fan of, and he's having a great season. I'm not messing around with Brady or Rodgers in the playoffs. I want to avoid that until the second round.
If I could avoid Lambeau at all costs, I'm avoiding Lambeau. I'll go anywhere else, but if we go to Lambeau, that's a hard place to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's going to be cold. Although, we're talking about who we don't want to see. I guarantee you no one wants to see the Eagles.
You're 100% on that, because even at Lambeau, in cold weather, in snow or whatever, this team is set up to play in those types of conditions.
Yeah, you run the ball they need 160 yards today to set the team record for rushing yards in a season.
Which they've been averaging that the last 9 weeks or something.
I think that's a foregone conclusion. That they need 5 rushing touchdowns over the next 2 weeks to set the franchise record mark for most rushing touchdowns in a season. And Devonta Smith, I'm repping him, number 6 in white.
93
he needs
yards
92 yards
92?
to break Deshaun Jackson's single season rookie record. So, we got some accolades coming our way. I feel like today. Like I said, I think that it's a foregone conclusion that this team's going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree.
And although I don't think they're going to win a playoff game, I just don't think they're ready yet. I just don't think they're ready yet. But, I mean,
I think this team is perfectly ready to play in the playoffs and win a game.
Look, I'm worried about the defense in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, if you had to worry about anything, that would be it.
I think that this team is a playoff caliber offense.
Yeah. Yes.
You run the ball. Hurts can do some things for you. Devonta Smith has been playing better. Goddard has been playing better.
Right.
So, I think this team on the offensive side of the ball is 1,000% capable of winning a playoff game.
Yeah.
Defensively, I'm not so sure. Because look at all the wins, John, that we have.
Well, listen, I don't do that because...
But they haven't beaten any good quarterbacks.
The schedule's the schedule. I can't change the schedule.
And I agree with that. But once you get in the playoffs...
So this is where I was going with it. It was in the playoffs. Who's usually in the playoffs is good quarterbacks, right? What do we have to combat that? A good running game, which keeps that good quarterback on the sidelines. Right? If we can control the clock and control field position and everything, I think we're as good as anyone to contend and compete with those good quarterbacks. Not having a good quarterback ourselves. You know what I mean? It builds up to where we can beat a good quarterback with our offense and not really our defense. Does that make any sense?
It does make sense. And, I like our offense to pull off an upset.
Right.
Potentially.
Right.
Because, like you said, you run the ball, you're physical.
Yeah.
The Eagles' offensive line they'll hit you in the mouth.
And
they'll bully you.
And, and quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, they get frustrated when they don't have 10 or 11 possessions in a game, right? If we can limit that to 7 or 8 possessions because of our clock management, they're going to get frustrated and try to do a little bit too much. That could be beneficial to us.
John Malmos, who is this team beating? The only team they have a shot of beating is Arizona. Green Bay, temperatures tonight, single digits.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with you. I do have a quick disclaimer why I'm wearing this hat. Guys.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
We settled a little bet.
I'm getting text messages of what I'm wearing this hat for. I lost a bet a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the pizza
It's the
man.
first chance, with the pizza guy over there from Three Brothers. So it's the first chance I'm having to honor that bet, and that's why I'm wearing this.
Now, the Giants, they're playing the Chicago Bears today. They're not actually charging fans to go watch that game, right? That's free entry to that game?
I guess. That's a horrible, horrible
Watch Andy Dalton
matchup.
versus Mike Glennon. They can't charge fans for that.
Is that going to be Glennon, or is that going to be a Jake
I think I
Fromm
saw on
game?
the bottom here on the ESPN that Glennon's going to start. I mean, that poor guy. I mean, I know we didn't do a show last week with the holiday and everything, but
Right.
I was at the game last week. I felt bad for Jake Fromm. I mean, he just doesn't belong.
No,
he's just not a good player.
He doesn't have the arm strength. He doesn't have the mobility. He just doesn't. He's not an NFL quarterback.
But what did happen that concerned me on the Eagles' standpoint was yet another slow start. They stumble out of the gates. They get it together.
Yeah, and we've been saying that the last couple of weeks that we've been doing a show. Like, I think they're going to start slow. And that's this team. And I like that. I like that because that shows me that Jalen Hurts can take a criticism, can take pressure, and turn it into something good going down the road, going down into the fourth quarter, where he's been really good.
I mean, okay, sure, if you want to spin it like that, that's fine.
It's hard to play 60 minutes. It's really hard to play a full, complete 4 quarters of a game.
Yeah, I don't like the slow starts at all, especially against bad football teams like the Giants.
We won pretty convincingly, so what does that mean?
They did.
I'll take a slow – I don't want to start – like when I say slow start, it's like 3-0, 6-3, something like that. Like, I don't want to see at halftime where we're down 17. You know what I mean? That's a bad start.
No.
I'll deal with a slow start. I don't want a bad start.
But just, like, you can't start slow if we're talking about winning playoff games and competing in the playoffs. Like, if you start like you did against the Giants last week, against Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, it's going to be 24-0 before you blink your eyes and the game's going to be over.
You know what, though? And I don't know this off the top of my head. I would love to see what was the time of possession. If anyone has that out there, or if Ralphie could get that.
Last week?
For last week, yeah. Of the first half. Because what was the score going into the first the halftime? Oh, it was small, right?
I mean, they only scored 3 points.
Right. But we didn't score much.
I think it was 17-3 at half.
Was it 17? Okay. All right. I mean, to me, a slow start is okay as long as you're controlling clock, controlling time. Like, if you're not giving up points, I don't care about my offense having a slow start. I'm okay with that.
But getting back to, like, I believe in this offense. I think this offense is a playoff caliber offense. Yeah. I really do. But the slow start hangs the defense out to dry because then they have to hold an outstanding quarterback like Dak Prescott, who's got a lot of weapons, and Rodgers and Brady, who are 2 of the best to ever do it.
Right.
If you come out of the first quarter with 3 points, that's not good.
And I think that's what I want to see, like why I asked the time of possession thing, because a slow start to me, when I think of Eagles slow starts this year, it's been ground and pound, beating them up, but not really getting to the scoreboard, right? And that's going to translate into having a good fourth quarter where you're wearing them down the first and second quarter, and then the third and fourth quarter you're going to run through them.
Right? And that's kind of been the setup.
And I can live with that. To me, that's not a slow start. Like that's setting up a game plan, and I'd love to see that. That's our game plan. Let's pound them. Even if it doesn't translate into points, let's not give up points. And then the third and fourth quarter, they're going to wear out. They're going to wear thin.
Greg Milakovic.
So real quick, boys, I got the stats here for you from last week. So going into half against the Giants, we were tied at 3 going into half.
That's what I thought. Right.
Really? I thought we got it going a little bit there at the second half.
And then in the third quarter, we scored 17 straight.
Right. What do you have the time of possession by chance, Ralphie?
I just got the whole, it doesn't give me the half. By half, it just gives me the whole. So the Giants had 30 minutes and 52 seconds to our 29 and 8 seconds.
So we were less. Okay. That's odd to me. I didn't see that coming. Okay.
Well, I mean, look, you can make stats say whatever you want. And like when the Giants are throwing 3-yard passes down the field when they're down 34-3, that piles up time, even though it's meaningless time because they couldn't do anything because that poor kid Jake Fromm just couldn't play.
Yeah.
But I would like to we get some actives and inactives. They're up there on the screen at ESPN. We'll get you set up for your championships.
Brown is in.
Okay. Lamar Jackson is out. Slow starts are concerning. That's from Greg. Bryce Blackwell, our offense, I'm 50-50 in the playoffs because we'll play better defense that can stop run, force us to throw more. I mean, that's on the coach. Like, you can't change your game plan because it's the playoffs. You got to go with what got you there. So, like, they need to find a way to run the ball like they've been doing, or they're going to get clobbered by one of these good teams. Like a Wednesday night show, I listened to the majority of that with Tommy and Ralphie's on it, and Frank, who produces the Sports Hounds on Monday night for us, a whole slew of people. And we started, like, is it a red flag if the Eagles don't make the playoffs for Nick Sirianni, for Jalen Hurts, for the whole crew? I would say, like, you have to look at it in context.
Yeah.
Because the slow starts are concerning. I need Nick Sirianni to have him ready. I need the game plan to be proper from right at the start, and I want to put the Redskins away. The Washington football team away early. Like, I don't need the Washington football team be hanging around like this, because Washington football team, they quit like dogs last Sunday night. Absolutely quit like dogs.
I think they packed in their season.
So if I get a team that's packed it in last week, they're fighting on the sidelines, and I can go start fast,
right?
I think they fold up, and we get a relatively easy win, even though I don't think the Eagles are built to blow teams out because they run the ball. But it can be easy. It can be low stress.
It should be relaxing. Yeah, it should be a relaxing game.
So I need a fast start, and I need Nick Sirianni to stick with the run, not drop back and throw the ball a bunch of times like we did earlier in the season. And I need the defense to just lean on them a little bit.
Just hold them. Just hold them. Yeah, just hold them until we can start getting our offense clicking. Like you said, slow offense, slow starts. It is what it is. But hopefully at some point it'll click. And it has. The last 8 weeks, it has. I'm not worried about it.
Brian Wilson's in the house. John Malmos, this defense versus top 10 quarterbacks is terrible. Then being down 14 points put our offense a throw through our throw game, not our strength.
No, 100%.
Yeah, and that's what concerns me about the defense when it comes to the playoffs. Because, look, you played Herbert. You played Mahomes. You played Brady. You played all these guys that are really, really good quarterbacks. And the Eagles' defense just didn't stack up.
Right.
Now they get some stinkers in there, like Semien. He can't play. Zach Wilson is unproven.
I also look at it a little bit differently than you guys. Like, and I don't know why coming through the season I've been so optimistic, but those games, yes, our defense got trampled and did horrible, but we also didn't have the offensive running game that we do now, right? And I'm saying,
great point.
We let's say we play Tampa Bay again in the playoffs, right? And we limit Tom Brady's possessions by 2 or 3 in a game. That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really big deal. And I think we're capable of doing that now when we weren't weeks 1 through 7.
Like, yeah, I was talking to people at my New Year's festivities. Like, what if we played the Chiefs in week 4 and we busted them for 225 on the ground?
It's a different
Instead of trying
outcome.
To throw the ball.
Not to say we're going to win, right? Not to say we're going to win, but I feel a lot more confident going into the game now than I would have then. You know what I mean?
John Malmos, we know Ron Rivera is going to stack the box and force Hurts to throw the ball. We need Hurts to have himself a game.
It's hard to do. You can stack the box as much as you want. It's really hard to do in an RPO because you could stack the box and still miss assignments, right? That DN could still creep down on the fake handoff, right? And Hurts can get out. Or the DN can leave the gap and worry about Hurts getting out and let Sanders or Boston Scott or whoever hit that hole. So there's a combination of stacking the box, but they still got to do their jobs and hold their gaps. And that's what this offense has been doing good is gap control on the defensive line. Our offensive line's been opening them up, no matter how many people are in the box.
Look, you have 2 elite level tackles setting the edge for you in Lane Johnson.
Which, and a tight end that can block.
And Goddard, he is I get on him a lot, but he's
a good blocking tight end.
Good blocking tight end. He's a two-way tight end for sure. And you have Lane Johnson, how Lane Johnson's not in the Pro Bowl, I don't.
It's a joke.
Understand.
Everyone could be the best right tackle in the game.
Everyone says everyone wants to point at Tyron Smith, but and Lane Johnson missed games, but Tyron Smith said he missed 5 games.
Yeah.
Lane Johnson missed 3. And if you remember, Lane Johnson wasn't really hurt.
Smith is a left tackle too, right?
Yeah.
And Lane Johnson's the best right tackle in football, I think.
Easily. And then you get Wirfs down there in Tampa. He gets the nod. Okay. I mean,
yeah, good year.
If you're okay, cool. But I mean, I'm taking my man Lane Johnson over Tristan Wirfs all day.
I would because he's a little bit older, but Wirfs had a good year.
And then we got my lot on the other side, who's just really emerged into a great player.
If I had to pick one guy for our team this year that I am saying took a huge jump, it's him. Yeah.
Big time. And then you still have Jason Kelly, ageless wonder in the center and in the middle at center, Jason Kelsey. And then you fill in with some guards, but
Dickerson's been good since the first game.
Dickerson's been fantastic. They put him next to Mailata on that left side, and it's been smooth sailing. So you have an elite offensive line.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a couple better than the Eagles, but not many.
They're a top 5.
They're a top 5 offensive line. So, I wouldn't be, to John's point about Ron Rivera stacking the box, I don't care if they put all 11 in the box.
No, I'm okay with that.
Let's go hit them.
Yeah, hit them. And like I said, you can leave a DN almost unblocked, and he still has to make the right choice on the RPO. And that's tricky, especially we see Jalen Hurts runs a very good RPO. He leaves that ball in the stomach for a very long time before he makes a decision. And it seems to be working out pretty good.
John Malmos has a question. If we lose today, the Eagles lose today, Hurts has 2 interceptions, and then we lose to Dallas, what's Howie going to do in the offseason?
I don't even want to think about it. Because if we talked about this before we came on the air, and I'm going to kind of bring it up now a little bit. The game that I'm looking at besides the Eagles game this week is that San Fran game
versus Houston.
Yeah, that's a game I'm very intrigued with this week, mainly because is this the end of Jimmy G in San Fran? Trey Lance is getting the go today. Mm-hmm. If he plays well, I think they've been looking to give the keys to him. This could be the chance where they hand over the keys to Trey Lance, and this could be the end of Jimmy G. If a scenario like John was talking about here, where Hurts looks bad going down the stretch, is Jimmy G a play here in Philly next year?
I hope not, because I would rather roll it. Even if Hurts plays bad today and next week, and God forbid we miss the playoffs,
right?
I'm still bringing back Jalen Hurts.
So am I.
And letting him at it. And, maybe he opens himself up to a little QB competition in camp next year if he plays that bad.
But I hope it's with Gardner Minshew and not a Jimmy G.
No.
Yeah.
Plus, we always talk about the cap. And, Jimmy G, he's
got a pretty big cap hit. Yeah.
So am I shooting myself in the foot from a cap standpoint by having a diminished player like Jimmy G come in? I don't think Jimmy G is that much better than Jalen Hurts.
I don't think he's that much better, but the dude wins. He's got a big winning percentage.
I mean, okay, but I hear you on that.
I agree with you, though. Talent-wise, it's not like he's wowing anyone. He's not. He's missed a lot of big throws in big-time situations for them, mainly last year in the playoffs.
They should have won the Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
He missed that throw down the middle.
He missed a bunch of throws down the middle. Down the field, I should say.
Right. But it is a scenario that could play out here in Philadelphia. I do see Jimmy G as maybe, if we did get another quarterback, him being the front runner for a contender for coming here.
Look, I think you use your cap, you use your draft picks, and you fix the defense.
I'm with you.
No, Jimmy G. And the writing's on the wall there in San Francisco with Jimmy
He's
G.
done.
When you trade up that much capital for a guy like Trey Lance.
Right. Once that trade was made, you knew he was on borrowed time. It was just a matter of when. And it looks like San Fran's setting up to really say now is when.
I think if Trey Lance plays good today, looks competent.
It's him in the playoffs?
I think it might be him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because Kyle Shanahan, who's just him and McVay, they're just geniuses with scheming and play design. So, Kyle Shanahan's already got
the mobile package with him and everything.
The mobile X Factor package with Trey Lance. So, that's coming.
Yeah.
And I know some people were asking about the AFC playoff picture and other teams in the NFC. We're going to get to all that. We're talking Eagles right now. Big game today, Washington football team. We're down here at All Campus between 10th and 11th Street. Get some hats. We're playing cornhole. We're giving money away. We're giving huge discounts out. Some great hats. Baylor, looking at a Baylor hat. Looking at an Arizona hat. Cincinnati. I'm glad Cincinnati
got rolled.
They got rolled. That was easy.
So,
easy.
Touch on that real fast. Are you happy now Cincinnati got in? Or would you go back and change it now? And
Who am I putting in, though?
I don't know. Notre Dame? I don't know.
Notre Dame Cincinnati beat Notre Dame.
I got it. I hear you. But don't you think it would have been a more competitive game?
I don't know. I've seen Notre Dame in the playoff, and they get smoked every time.
All right. I got it.
Seems like all the semifinals.
I just came in there was no chance to say I had a chance. There was just no chance.
What was the final of that Georgia game?
27-6, something like that.
So there's been 18 college football semifinal playoff games, and 14 of them have been decided by double digits.
Yeah, right. It's a big comparison.
So, there's not that much Bama got in, and then it's usually Clemson on the other side who was rolling up teams, and Ohio State.
Right.
They've probably been in the third most outside of.
Big win for them yesterday, too.
That was a great game.
Great
Rose
game.
Bowl.
Yeah. Utah put up a real good fight.
Yeah. +4.
Yeah.
Winner.
There you go.
Winner. Kick that field goal, wind it down. Loved it. Loved it. Hey guys, I'm from South Florida, Southwest Florida. Go Birds! Like Wayne repping us down there. It's warm out here.
It's nice
Florida,
out.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I wish the sun was out. Then we'd really cooking with gas here. But overall, another great day on the boardwalk here at All Campus for the Ramp Booth. We've had a mild winter. Hopefully, we can keep it going.
Yeah. Hopefully next week, we get the 1:00 game and it's a nice weather again, and we're going to have a fun time at the at the link.
We're going down. We're tailgating. We invite everyone to join us. 11:30, Jetro lot. We'll be on social media, sharing the location.
We'll have some food. We'll have some drinks, non-alcoholic drinks. If you want to bring alcohol, you're on your own.
BYOB.
Yep.
Adam Rush who would be a better fit in Philadelphia, Russell Wilson or Jimmy G? I mean, Russell Wilson's just a way better player than Jimmy G.
That's not even a question, but I don't think Russ is going to be here because I don't want to give up the draft capital it's going to cost us to get him here. That's just my opinion.
Someone's going to trade for him, though. He's going to be on Denver, I bet.
I agree. Yeah, I think a team that's a little bit closer, like a Denver, could see him. I could see Aaron Rodgers going to Denver, too.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go to Pittsburgh.
That would be fun. Yeah,
I don't know. I think him and Tomlin. I think him and Tom would have been in cahoots.
Yeah,
here for maybe even a couple years now, with the diminished play of Big Ben. It looks like Big Ben's going to be done after this year, at least in Pittsburgh.
He pretty much said it without saying this is going to be his last game.
And I mean, Aaron Rodgers is almost 40 years old, but I mean, he can still play. He's probably going to win MVP
again. Yep.
So you got two 40-year-olds in the MVP race, which is unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Which is unbelievable
to
me. But yeah, why do I feel like that those two have been in cahoots for maybe a couple years now.
That would be a fun spot to see Aaron Rodgers play. That would give him a real defense that he's never really had. Even his Super Bowl year, he never really
pretty
had
good
a
receivers. That
yeah.
Najee Harris looks like a real player.
Yeah.
Wayne Miller. What's the chances the league renames the AFC Trophy to honor John Madden? Maybe even the Lombardi Trophy. Who's done more for the game? That's interesting about the AFC Trophy.
Yeah, I don't see the Lombardi Trophy.
Lombardi Trophy that won't
moving. Yeah,
that won't. There's just so much history there.
Right.
I mean, you have the Green Bay Packers. They won the first Super Bowl.
First one to ever win it.
Vince Lombardi, was the coach of that team. So I don't see that one changing. But Lamar Hunt Trophy, which is what they call the AFC Trophy, which is actually named after Lamar Hunt, the original owner. Of the Chiefs, who won the first AFC title.
Correct.
That would be interesting because John Madden. I still haven't caught the documentary from Christmas.
Beautiful.
It's on my It's on my DVR.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's an idea. Not really many people have done more for the game of football.
I don't think And if you're saying who's done more for football, John Madden might be the guy who's done the most for football. I mean, just alone the video game, what that has drawn eyes to the NFL and completely changed the way people look at the game. Not just watch it, but now how they think about it and everything. But I don't see changing history and changing trophies as that. I do think they'll come up with a John Madden award of some sorts that they'll give out every year.
Yeah, like contribution to the game or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he had the game, and then he did remember Summerall?
Him and Pat Summerall
were awesome.
Will always be the mecca of announcers in NFL.
And then he would never fly. So he would
bus.
He would hop in his bus and go from town to town.
Yep.
And you would go and you would look it's the Madden. Is the Madden mobile in
Where's
town?
Is the Madden mobile coming through?
And then instantly it was a big game. Because that was when the Eagles started really starting to get good under Andy Reid. They were an up and coming team. They had Trey Thomas and they signed Runyon and you get McNabb obviously. And Andy Reid was a great coach, so the Madden mobile was in Philadelphia. It was in Philadelphia quite a lot.
Yep.
And then we had all those NFC title games, which I think he only did one of them. Actually,
I was just about to say I don't think he did an NFC.
The very first one against the Rams, I remember he called.
Okay.
And then I'm pretty sure it was Joe Buck for Tampa the next year.
Joe Buck and Troy Aikman now I think are going to be the package going forward.
But they're good.
Fox.
But they're not Summerall.
They're not Summerall Madden. No, and I don't think we'll ever see that again. Especially people of our generation, of me, that those will always be the guys that I hold everyone's standard to.
Business papers. What do you think about the injury of Jordan Howard? He is reported to play today, but does Boston Scott get more carries?
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier, too.
I mean, I am fortunate enough to be playing for a fantasy football championship today, and my last flex spot is a huge headache, so we're going to get into that in a little bit. But I got Boston Scott, I got Deontay Foreman, I got Van Jefferson, who I know you like.
I like Van Jefferson.
I have a slew of other guys that I could put in. But I really need to make a decision because, John, my fantasy football team, it's not a good team.
You're overachieved to get in.
It's kind of because I have Jalen Waddle and Justin Jefferson and Rodgers as my quarterback. So, those three have just been
carried you,
piling up points. I don't have any good running backs.
Right.
Well, I have Damian Harris. He's probably my best one. But, I mean, he's always
coming in the beginning of the year.
He's always questionable. I never know what to do with him. And then I somehow escaped having him on my bench last week.
Right.
Bust the Bills up for $150 and 3 touchdowns. 30 points. I was still able to get the win somehow.
Right.
And then I was able to win when Jalen Waddle had COVID. I won by 3 points in the semifinals. So I'm kind of walking on water. I'm like the team of destiny here, but I'm playing a really good team, so every point's gonna matter.
Yeah.
Jordan Howard with the stinger. It does look like he's gonna play.
He is going to be questionable, and a re-injury is going to be the thing that I think you got to be worried about.
I don't see him, maybe 10 carries for him.
Oh, you think it's going? I don't think it's going to limit him. I think the re-injury concern is a little bit more of a factor
Look,
for
Boston
me.
Scott can run the ball. He's a good player.
Oh,
He's not great.
He's okay for what he is.
But
I
John,
don't want him as an every down back all year long.
Yeah, but you're up against it. Miles Sanders is a hurt hand,
Right?
And Jordan Howard is a stinger, and you got Gainwell and you got Scott, and it looks like Howard's going to try and play today. No, I'm nervous. I'm nervous about Jordan Howard.
Right.
I don't think he's going to have a full workload, and I don't want him getting re-injured.
Then I guess Boston Scott would be your guy if that's your dilemma of fantasy.
Because Boston Scott can catch the ball a little bit, and like we talked about the Eagles' offensive line, like a less than perfect back like Boston Scott has the potential to do well running behind this offensive line.
Yeah, small guy, hides, hits the holes pretty fast. Yeah, he could have a big game every now and then, and he usually does against the Giants. It's just he's not playing the Giants this week.
There you go. You got your boy Chris Hanna. He's checking you out.
What's up, Chris?
Good to see. Thanks for checking in, Chris. I don't know, because I'm always nervous for these games.
Right, and
I'm not nervous today, at all, which means they're going to lose.
Well, I'm the same way as you. I think this is going to be a relaxed game, and that's usually a doom when you feel that way. But I'm going to take a broader scope to this, and I am just so at ease going into the end of the season here because of where I thought and where I was in the beginning of the year that, man, no matter what happens, this is a win for me.
Well, what did you have? What'd you have?
4 wins.
You had 4 wins.
Yeah.
So you were like Colin Cowherd and Sports Illustrated and USA Today. I had 8.
Yeah.
But I said 8, just please don't win just 4 games so I can
I think that was the majority
look myself
of people.
In the mirror on Monday mornings.
Tom said 10, but
he always says 10.
Realistically, I don't think he really believed 10.
He might.
I don't think he really believed 10. I think he just doesn't want the 4. I think people who say 8, 9, 10 just don't want the 4.
Yeah, he's very persuasive too. So he starts talking and getting
going,
and then he believes himself, and then he doubles down even more, and all of a sudden we're in the Super Bowl. Very persuasive. He'll be on tonight, but A2D Radio after the game.
But going into the year to where we are now, no matter what happens with this team, man, I feel really good with this season, and I feel even better going into next year and moving forward.
Well, I think Nick Sirianni answered a lot of questions. Do we have our quarterback of the future on the roster right now? I'm still not quite sure. I want to say yes.
I think we got our quarterback for next year.
Fair.
Right.
But I definitely have my coach for the next 3 to 5 years.
I hope so, yeah.
Look, the way he adjusted. This is not the way Nick Sirianni wants to play football. This is not how Nick Sirianni wants to call the football game.
But do you think he reverts back to what he wants, or do you think he's capable of saying, hey, this is the type of team I have. Let's roll with it. This is what I'm going to do.
No, I don't think he reverts back this season.
No, not this year. Next year.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Until it's not working out and he goes back to running the ball.
Okay. That's fair, though. I can live with that.
Or he figures out that Hurts isn't a passer like that.
Right. And either has to move on or change his game plan.
But in this offseason with Jalen Hurts, he's going to try and work with him, turn him into a pocket passer.
Yeah.
So he can throw the ball 35, 40 times a game.
And I hope that happens. I do, because I do think Jalen Hurts can be that guy if he gets his timing correct. I don't think his arm strength will ever allow him to be that guy, but the timing, especially now that you're going to have a full off season with Devonta Smith, where you can really work on that timing. I'm hopeful that they could do that.
Wayne Miller, he believed in 10 wins from the start. I know the start would be rough, but we would finish strong. The schedule played out that way.
That's true.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, and, the week schedule going down the stretch was always in our favor, yeah.
And you get the last place draw.
Right.
as well. That helped because you played.
You get the week. I think going into the year, I think we had the second weakest schedule in the whole NFL. Apparently,
but then you get the game 17. You draw the Jets because you finished in last place.
Right.
Like that helps.
Yep.
And then what else did we draw because we were in the last place schedule? Yeah, we drew the Lions because we were in last place schedule. And
one other team I can't think of off the top
of my
Niners.
Head.
No, I don't think.
Yeah, they finished last. They
did. You're
West.
right. You're right.
I mean, that's a way better division than the East, but
that's
our other last place draw, which that's a tough draw, but
it is what it is. Yeah.
Whatever, it is what it is. But and then you look at the way it shook out with just the putrid quarterbacks that we just had to run through down the stretch
against.
here.
Yeah. Again, not our fault.
It's not.
And it's to our benefit now. But if we're talking about going into next year, now we're going to see a harder schedule next year. We're going to see the better quarterbacks. We'll see how that plays out, next year.
Yeah, then you had to play the West, the AFC West.
That's
which there's some good.
Yeah.
There's some good quarterbacks in that division.
Yeah.
And then what do we play? The NFC South. So you get Brady. Like Sam Darnold. They beat Sam Darnold.
Hey, he might not be there next year.
So you got Pete Evans. He's got I like us to win and cover today.
So
I'm all for it.
Oh yeah, I'm
all
in.
for it.
All in.
I'm all for it. I'm not going to bet the game just because every time I bet the Eagles, it just doesn't work out. I'm not going to mush them like that.
I'm all in on them.
What did it say? What is it, 5?
5.5?
5.5?
Yeah.
I just don't want to see another slow start. I just want to start fast. And
I don't know why that doesn't bother me. I don't know why the slow start
because I think you're just so at ease because of where you had them at the beginning of the season and we are now that you're not going to let a slow start.
And I've also seen
because you don't think they're not good. You don't think they're that good.
No, I don't think they're that good. But I've also seen what a slow start has done for us, but where we finished. And I'm okay with that.
But don't you understand that the level of competition that they're playing
is going to go up,
allows them to recover and ultimately still be able to win football games?
I don't know that. I guess we'll find that out playoff time, right? Let's make that determination on playoff time.
If you're playing Green Bay in Lambeau,
yeah,
and you start slow, like they get against New York Giants, the game is going to be over before you blink your eyes.
Again, I don't think so. It's a different. There's a difference between starting slow and starting bad. I could start slow going into the game at Lambeau, and that score being 7-3, 10-3. That's not that okay. I'll live with that. I'll be doing cartwheels if that happens.
If you start slow and you only let Aaron Rodgers get 10 points on you, then that's fine.
Right, that's what I mean. But that's what we've been doing. So why do I think anything different?
But because you need to use context and use your brain and realize that Aaron Rodgers is not Trevor Siemian or Jake Fromm.
Okay.
Is my point.
I hear you, but until I see it, it doesn't scare me. The slow start doesn't scare me.
Okay.
Maybe I'm completely off. Maybe I'm completely wrong on it. But the slow start does not scare me.
Bring in your comments. If you got any fantasy questions, you got any gambling questions, we'll be happy to help.
Get to them.
Happy to help you out. How about the Sixers playing good basketball, Johnny?
Shocking there, too.
I watched the game against the Nets, and I really it's tough for me to watch a whole 48-minute Sixers game because I want to put my foot through the TV. Because they do so many stupid things.
If there is a game to watch, though, against the Nets, is the game.
I watched the Nets game, and they played fantastic. John, it's amazing what you can achieve in the NBA when you buck up, and play defense.
Yeah. Listen,
they played defense.
It comes down to one guy. Joel Embiid is the MVP. He is a top 3 player in this world right now. The dude is just playing out of his mind.
And he got help against the Nets.
He got help, yeah.
Maxey played well.
Maxey had a great game.
Tobias Harris still.
He did okay, though. He had his career high in assists. He didn't light it up scoring, but he did enough to help us.
9-6 as a max guy.
I
can't excuse that.
I hear you. I hear you.
Sorry.
But at least he was contributing in other ways if he wasn't putting the ball in the basket.
If that's the way you want to spin it, then that's fine.
Someone's got to do it.
And then you just have the Ben Simmons saga, which he's amassed $10 million in fines.
Yeah.
How can you?
Oh, here we go. Here's our Cowboy resident coming in.
Here we go.
What's up, buddy?
But $10 million in fines. Like, holy smokes. You're
At
just
what
leaving
point,
that money on the table?
Yeah, at what point do you say is enough, I'm coming back? Listen, it looks like Daryl Morey is holding true to what he said. This is a 4-year process, baby.
You know how I feel about
I know
Morey.
I know how everyone feels about it. But Daryl Morey is sitting in the chair and he's growing a nice tree branches around him and not budging.
Great. And your team's going to suffer. The outlook of your team is going to suffer.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And they're on I think they've won 3 in a row now.
Right.
So that's good.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Daryl Morey, if you're him, I know what you think, but look at it this way. Do you think it's worse for a GM like him in this situation to make a bad trade just to get rid of the guy, or to hold him and let your team be a middle-of-the-pack team and not give him a chance? Now, let's say we make the trade, right? We can go up or we could go down. Making the trade does not guarantee us getting better. All right? We could add a guy who makes this team do worse chemistry-wise or whatever. All right? So let's not just say it's a guaranteed upgrade, first of all. So as a GM, are you worried about that, or are you worried about not giving your team at least a chance of making it by doing the trade?
Well, right now the Sixers are playing significantly shorthanded because they don't want. They haven't.
You're missing a max player.
You're missing a max player.
Yeah,
and you already have a max player who doesn't pull his weight.
Right.
So now you have Joe and nothing. So you got to get him out of here.
Okay, so you're a believer of, even if I make a bad trade, it's better for the team than just letting them sit.
It's just
a
disaster. Yeah, I have to get him out of here. I mean,
as a GM, I think that would be making a bad move is worse for my personal career. I think I would get fired a lot faster for making a bad trade than I would for letting the guy sit.
But again, this is not your run-of-the-mill disgruntled superstar, I want out of here situation. There's a lot of stuff going on. The kid's soft. The kid's coddled. He's good, but he's not as good as he thinks.
Okay.
So,
that's but we say that as a fan base, but around the league, he is a very high commodity guy that everyone
But it doesn't
wants.
matter how high commodity he is. It doesn't how much perceived value he has based on his skill set, which he absolutely has a skill set. He's only worth what these teams are willing to give up. And the Sixers are boxed in.
There it is. You just said it. It's not his skill set is not what is holding the trade
back. If there was
back.
no nonsense going on,
right.
you should have no problem getting
anything.
CJ McCollum for him.
Yeah, right. Brandon Beal.
You're getting ripped off trading Ben Simmons for CJ McCollum.
Right.
If all things are just
equal.
Like we have this guy here and this guy we're making swap, that would never happen.
Right.
Ben Simmons is way more valuable than CJ McCollum.
Right.
He's a way better player. I know people in Philadelphia don't want to hear that because Ben Simmons isn't Steph Curry and isn't going to go out there and drop 50 and make 10 threes ever in his life.
Right.
I think he has one 40-point game against the Jazz a couple years ago.
Was it even 40? I don't even know if it was 40. But
it might even been 30. But he's not that type of player.
Right.
So all things being equal, you're never even going to entertain the fact that trading a guy like Ben Simmons for CJ McCollum.
No.
But now you're so boxed in that Portland laughs at you when you want CJ McCollum for him.
Yeah, because they know the situation
the
you're in.
Blazers are just gonna the Blazers or the Wizards or whoever, the Spurs, the Cavs have been in rumors.
Toronto,
Toronto, whoever you want to put, they know. Like, well, why would I give you Pascal Siakam for him?
You're in this spot. You should be.
You're gonna take
giving me him for free because of the spot you're in.
Like you're gonna take whatever I give you, and then we're gonna get Ben Simmons to play with Pascal Siakam.
Yep.
So, look, he should have been traded at the draft. Daryl Morey did a poor job.
Yeah.
Sitting on this, because look at all the superstars. There's been disgruntled superstars in the NBA before,
right?
In sports before. The longer the team waits to make a move, the less they get.
Right.
And Daryl Morey has waited so long to make a deal. He's going to get nothing.
You have to wait till the offseason now. But
you got to get him in. That's fine if you want to trade him in the offseason, but you got to get him in. You got to get him in here.
Yeah.
You need to kiss his keister and get him in here, and give him a private jet to the game. Whatever you got to do.
Give him his own locker room,
whatever.
Right.
Because let's be real about it. Like special players get special treatment. That's just the way it is.
Always will be. Always has been.
The only chance this basketball team has to go to an Eastern Conference Finals is if Ben Simmons returns and plays well.
Right. And I'm done on the Ben Simmons stuff, but you're everything we said is correct.
And then the last thing I'll say is the real loser in the whole situation is Joel Embiid.
Yes, because
he's got his prime being wasted away by an organization that just doesn't really seem to know or care to surround him with the pieces he needs to win a championship.
Yeah, I do feel bad for Joe because, like I said, he's playing out of his mind right now. And I don't think I've ever seen a run of a big guy playing like this before.
And he's a big, and he has an injury history.
Yeah.
It's not like Steph Curry, where
it's not Michael Jordan doing this.
Steph Curry's going to play till he's 40.
Right.
LeBron James might win MVP this year. He's
40.
He's 40.
Yeah.
Centers just don't. They don't roll like that. You know what I'm saying? He's got a shelf life.
Yeah, they get beat up too much.
And the Sixers are wasting, especially Joe. He's on the floor all the time. He's all
hustle.
Hits he's all heart.
10 times a game at least, yeah.
And that's the way he is, and I'm not, knocking it, but, when you look at it realistically, you can't just be throwing years away with Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
So.
All right. Flyers. You can talk a little Flyer. I mean, they had a tough game last night, but they, 8-point games in a row?
Yeah, the Flyers are going to make the playoffs.
It looks like it. I mean, they're looking good again.
And this is what happened. AV got stale, and then you bring in a new guy, and this is how it works in hockey sometimes.
We said that. It's hockey. I don't know why. You make a coaching change, and it lights a fire under the players. I have no idea why it only translates into hockey.
Hockey players are wired differently, I feel than the other three major North American sports. They take it personal that they got their coach fired.
Right.
Whereas, a basketball team,
it doesn't bother anyone.
Might not care at all if the coach got fired.
But the Flyers are looking good. Everything's trending up for them. Hopefully we get Carter Hart back soon. And he comes back into form. But I'm happy with going into the Flyers. There's going to be a lot of pieces that we can go get, I think, too, to add to this
All
offense.
I hear about is with the Flyers is the farm system, the young guys.
Right. And we have a ton of them.
So let's get, I get so mad when I hear Giroux get hated on. I don't really get it.
It's so stupid. Giroux is a hell of a player. Has been for a long time for this team.
Maybe you go grab Line from Columbus.
I would love that. I mean, a guy who we just played, Thomas Hurdle. I would love to have him.
What, Vancouver?
San Jose.
San Jose, yeah, that's right.
Would love to have him. He's going to be a guy who's going to get moved.
I don't know what's going on with him this year, but I feel like I always hear Tarasenko's name.
Tarasenko would be nice, yeah.
Give Drew that guy and have a line. Right now, he's setting up Travis Konechny. Come on.
Yeah, Konechny or Oscar Lindblom. He just doesn't have – he's never had a pure scorer.
But, yeah, I'm excited. I think we're going to have playoff hockey, It looked bad for a while, but I think that this team is going to right the ship. And I think because you look at Detroit, they're in one of the last wild card spots in the East, and
they're overplaying what they are. They're a lot better than what they really are right now.
And like I think that with the NBA and the NHL, they're just petri dishes right now. I mean, nobody can play. Games are getting postponed. So now that they're not going to the Olympics, and you got like that 2-3 week gap to make up all these games,
right?
Like I think that is huge.
And just to touch, I know it's a little bit off topic here, but just touch that last night. I think they announced the female USA team, like the final roster, completely different. And I don't know if that is people holding out because of the COVID issues, but it looks like a completely different roster.
Because they're in where are the Olympics?
China.
Is
Beijing?
it in Beijing?
Yeah. Beijing.
Okay. Yeah, and there's talks of that getting a little hairy. About
right,
guys
there was
like
talks of us holding out,
not wanting to go.
Yeah,
but you're saying the women's hockey team,
women's U.S. ice hockey team, is a really different roster than what our previous gold medal teams were. And so it was a little shocking to me when I read that roster.
I guess I assume that they're going to go all amateur.
Yeah, I don't know what the boys team's going to look like. Yeah, are they going to go amateur, or are they going to allow? excuse me, allow AHL players to play. Like, are AHL players allowed to play in CHL and all that?
Well, I guess that'll be up because, like the AHL, it's the minor,
it's the minor leagues. But I mean, those guys are under contract,
right? So I would say no.
Okay, all right,
but I don't know for sure.
Right,
I think it's gonna be a bunch of college kids and
okay,
and things of that nature. But then, like the KHL, like they'll send best of the best. So,
right.
I don't know. It'd be interesting. I would like to see if any of the Flyers prospects get on the team.
There's a couple. I mean, there's a couple that should be there. Yeah.
All right, let's get into some fantasy. It's Championship Sunday
for you.
For me, yeah. What, you didn't make it?
I made one.
A Steam player like yourself.
I made one, but it was my non-money one. My 2 money leagues. I made playoffs in both of them, and I bailed out in the first rounds.
But let's get to some actives and inactives here.
Yeah, why don't you read that off?
Lamar Jackson, he's not going to play today. It's going to be Tyler Huntley down in Baltimore. Big matchup. Rams, Ravens.
That's a big game for the Ravens. Yeah.
Ravens need it. Sony Michel has emerged as the lead back there.
Yeah, big game last week.
Big game. I've always believed in his talent. But for whatever reason, it just hasn't worked out until right now.
Brown's out active for that game now. Marquise Brown, who I thought was going to be out. It looks like he's in. So that's going to help them.
Let me see if I can get it here. Actives and inactives. This is according to Bleacher Report. Carson Wentz, he will play today. He has cleared COVID protocols. He will start for the Indianapolis Colts.
I was shocked with that, but
Antonio Brown and Mike Evans will be active.
Okay.
Damian Harris, Hollywood Brown, who you just mentioned, a couple running backs. Damian Harris and Jordan Howard will be active for their respective teams. Lamar Jackson is out. Darren Waller is out. He's been out forever.
He's been out for a long time, yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders for the Buffalo Bills will not play. So maybe
they just had him on an interview, and he seemed like he was in good spirits. Okay.
So maybe, I know Isaiah McKenzie, he had quite a game last week. Maybe that could be a little sleeper if you're stuck with some of these injuries.
Gabriel Davis for them, I think, has been coming up too.
Gabriel Davis, yes. Curtis Samuel, he will not play for the Washington football team. Jamison Crowder will not play for the New York Jets.
Okay.
Cam Akers, remember, he ruptured, promising player for the Rams. Ruptured his Achilles. He is not going to play today.
Okay.
There was talks about maybe. But I mean, like, what do we do? Achilles?
Why rush that? Yeah, I wouldn't take a chance on it. He's a young kid. You still got him on a rookie contract. Sony Michel's looking good. That offense seems to be clicking.
I think the injury to Henderson
scared people.
Opened up the speculation for that one. So those are the actives and inactives. If you got any fantasy questions, Shoot them in the chat. We'll do our best to help you out. We got game picks coming up. We touched on Philly sports, and we'll give our final score predictions.
Did our big bet in, too.
Before we do our big bet. Yep, game picks.
Yep.
We're going to hit one.
We're going to hit one?
Maybe we can nail the 1 o'clock.
Just give me the 1 o'clock to get that buyout.
Yeah, you can just cash out.
Yep.
But I think I'm going with Boston Scott here.
You're going to go Boston Scott?
I think I am.
I'm going to hold true. If I was you, I would go Van Jefferson, but I think Boston Scott's the safer play.
See,
yes.
I like Baltimore today in that game.
You do.
I do.
Yeah.
It's definitely their second game.
You like Baltimore to win or just cover? Because they're getting points.
I'll take the 6.
Right?
I'll take the 6.5. But I mean, the Rams. I mean, this is their third straight game on the road.
Right.
You know, I thought that they didn't really play their best last week in Minnesota.
They didn't play bad.
No, but you know, you get in the dog days, the holidays. You're on the road all the time.
Start getting a little worn. Yeah.
I think, and I like this Huntley. Huntley from
what's that? Yeah, three interceptions. He had a rough game. Yeah.
Gunslinger, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes that happens. But yeah, and I like Huntley. Huntley's going to start. Lamar Jackson's out.
That's going to be an interesting situation if they do come up with an upset today. There's going to be some rumbling there. I mean, go back to Lamar.
You have and Ravens. They're desperate. Like you got to win the game.
Yeah,
you have no choice. You don't have the tiebreaker with the Dolphins. Like you have to win that game.
Love to. If anyone in the chat's a Baltimore fan, I would love to see how your quarterback sports talk is going over there. Like, is there talks of a controversy in Baltimore? Because Lamar's been really bad this year. Really bad this year.
He just can't throw.
Huntley's looking really good.
Well, Huntley, he was a good player at Utah.
Yeah. Really
solid. So, I mean, we'll see. And he can run, and he played well against the Packers, even though they lost.
It's nice that it's another team, though. I feel like it's usually only Philadelphia that goes through that.
Look, how many good quarterbacks are in this league?
5. Like, there's only, to me, 5 guys where I'm like, that's a Hall of Fame guy.
Like, yeah, but how many guys, let's even water it down even a little more. How many teams are like, okay, we're 1,000% not in the market for a quarterback next year?
10, 12 maybe?
Out of that's so less than half.
Less than half, yeah. Less than half.
Definitely less than half.
Yeah.
So, like,
there's probably at least half the teams are like, if Aaron Rodgers is available, I'm going to be a player. If Russ is available, I'm going to be a player. Like what we were saying about Jalen Hurts, it's hard to find a franchise quarterback. People don't understand that. It's not like Madden where you just find them all the time. It's hard to find these guys. Sometimes you just got to take with what you got.
Yeah, and you have to have a coach that can build a game plan and a strategy around what your guy does well.
Yep.
Because there's not Patrick Mahomes is all over this league. There's not Justin Herbert's all over this league where you can just do whatever scheme you want and he'll make it okay.
And you know what's funny is I was preparing for last week's show that we canceled, but I went down the last 20 years and did the top first round quarterbacks. And there's only 3 of them that I was like, that's a guy I would draft. There's only been 3 of them. Right? And that's Trevor Lawrence, Andrew Luck, and Peyton Manning.
You're talking about the first
round.
Pick.
First round. Yeah, first pick, first round.
First pick, first round. Okay.
Right. That I'm like, these guys are locks. So to me, those guys only come around every 7 years. Right? It's not like there's one in every draft. That doesn't happen that way, guys.
I think we're all in agreement that there's not one this year.
I would think so. Yeah. I mean, there's not one that's glaring. That's for sure.
Blue City Empire Sports. Yeah, Johnny had to settle a bet, so he's got to wear a Giants hat.
There it is.
This stems back from the first Eagles-Giants disaster on December 28th, which was just a lame duck performance all the way around. But, yeah, he's settling his belt. Dak, 4th round. Yeah, and you can find guys later.
Right. And that's true. You can find guys later. Again, I don't think that's something. Listen, if you're going into the draft and you're drafting a quarterback in the 4th round, you're not realistically saying, I'm drafting my starting quarterback for this coming year in the 4th round. I don't think the Cowboys were thinking about that, right? They had Romo. They had Romo as their guy. He just happened to get hurt, and Dak did good. Russ was not that guy. If you remember going into that year, they paid a lot of money for Matt Flynn, right? That was their guy. Russ just happened to outshow him. But they never went into that draft thinking, I'm taking Russell Wilson in the 4th round, 3rd round, whatever it was, and he's my guy. They weren't thinking
that. Nate Blade 22, check us out on YouTube. Who's your favorite Eagle of all time? Terrell Owens.
B-Doc.
Terrell Owens. B-Doc, acceptable answer. Nate Blade 22. Nick Foles, underrated, yes or no? Look, Nick Foles stinks.
Very, very overrated.
Nick Foles.
Very overrated.
And bless his heart, he played like Joe Montana for 2 games in his life, and the Eagles won the NFC Championship game, and they won the Super Bowl. So bless his heart.
And he deserves to walk on water in Philadelphia.
Yes.
100%. But he's overrated.
A flawed player.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he's never done any, like Gardner Minshew beat him out. Andy Dalton, Justin Fields, everyone's beat him out.
Everywhere he's went. When he went to Andy Reid, KC, right?
KC had him. He couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I think the Rams got a hold of him after the 27-2.
Right. Yep.
And he didn't do anything there, so he won that Super Bowl. Yeah, I hear you, but I mean,
doesn't make him a good quarterback, guys.
Trent Dilfer won the Super Bowl too.
Yeah,
this guy's stiff. Sorry, but there were huge factors outside of Trent Dilfer and outside of Nick Foles on why the Eagles won that Super Bowl. So fantasy, I think I'm set. I'm going with Boston Scott.
All right. You want to get into our weekly, our big bet?
Yeah, let's do our parlay.
All right. And we'll go through the game picks and just give our opinions on the games. Again, guys, don't listen to us. We're just doing it for fun. You want real picks? Become a member. Listen to Money Pot. They'll give you some real picks. Listen to Will, so he'll give you the dailies. They're the guys that you want to listen to.
They just had the AFC playoff picture. I know some people were asking in the chat about what we thought about it. And, I don't really know what. There's so many teams.
AFC,
it's crazy.
Everyone has a chance still.
And the team that they're showing on the screen right now, the Chargers, I don't understand one bit.
I thought that they were almost a lock, but they really have hit the skids going down the road.
You lose to Houston last week. I mean, good God. Now they're going to play a division game at Denver.
Yeah, they got 2 pretty much must-win games going down the road here.
All right, so where are we starting?
Let me log in here real fast. Sorry, I was running a little slow. Well, we know we got the Eagles, right? We're taking the Eagles.
Sure.
What's the other? What other locks you like this week?
I had 3. I had 3 that jumped out to me.
Okay.
Let me log in. Let me get my
So Baltimore has gone up. They're at +7 now, which I like that a lot more.
So I have them +6.5. Okay, I'm not going to cash it out and read it. It's +6.5. I think they have a legitimate chance to win this football game.
Right.
I like Huntley, and they're a desperate football team.
All right, so we're taking Baltimore.
Desperate football team. They absolutely have to win this game.
Right. All right, you ready for it? Let's start it off here. Kansas City going to Cincy, which I think is going to be the game of the week. Kansas City 3.5. -3.5 KC going to Cincy.
Bengals won big last week, right?
Yeah.
Boy, I want to say Cincinnati. Let's take Cincinnati.
I like Cincinnati too.
Cincinnati's at home.
Yeah.
I believe they clinch with a win.
Yes.
The AFC North, which has been just a grind all season.
Oh, this point spread's going through the roof here. Vegas going to Indy. Indy -8.5 now.
It's 8.5. So I have Vegas +8. Like them.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You like 8.5 then? Okay.
I do.
I think that's a lot of points.
It's a lot. I mean, look,
Here's the
I
other
think the
one.
two biggest teams that I don't understand and they're hard to handicap is the Chargers, who we just talked about, and the Raiders.
Both in the West.
Very schizophrenic, very schizophrenic, very bipolar.
Yeah.
Never really know what you're going to get. But usually when you count the Raiders out, they step up.
They find a way.
And they find a way. They're talking about the game right now. Offense to run through Hunter Renfrow. Darren Waller's out.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. But I'm taking 8.
Okay.
I am.
Well, we got 8.5, so I like it even
there
more.
You go.
Yep. Philly going to Washington. Philly is now a -6. I still like it.
I think a lot, but
I think we win by 13. I see a 27-14 game, 27-17.
What's the over/under?
44.5.
Kind of in the middle there.
Yeah.
Little low.
That's about where I'm at. 27-14.
Yeah,
like that.
I'm not sitting here and picking Washington.
Yeah, I'm taking.
I mean, maybe if Washington won last week or didn't quit last week against the Dallas Cowboys,
they threw the towel in. Yeah,
I could maybe get behind. But I mean,
you got a little chuckle coming over there that way from our Cowboy fans.
I mean, they're getting in fights with each other.
That's true.
Boy, they got hit with that up tempo from Dallas, and they folded.
Yeah,
they folded up. Pretty embarrassing. That's really the only concern that I have for this game is Washington was so bad last week and got embarrassed just on a monumental level.
Yeah.
But I thought they were going to show up last week because, they don't have Gilbert Grape as their quarterback.
Right,
they would have a real quarterback, and I thought they would step up.
Right.
And they didn't at all.
All right, we got Miami going to Tennessee. Tennessee -3.
Yeah, I'll ride the Dolphins here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it seems like the sharp play
I would
is
take
Tennessee.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, the Dolphins, they haven't lost in 2 months.
They've been the hottest team in the NFL, probably.
2 is great.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle's great. Flores is a great coach. They have a good defense. They have great corners.
Yeah.
And, I have doubts about Tennessee.
Right. All right.
But you can call that one.
No,
that's not one of
Miami. I got Miami.
That's not one of my plays. They're not one of my 3 that I start as super hammer plays.
All right. Biggest spread of the week. You got Jacksonville going to New England -17.
That's crazy.
17. I mean, I never thought a Mac Jones team would be giving 17. But
you know what? I'm going to take the 17.
Wow, you're laying 17 here.
Yeah, because I think New England. I think they're going to win the football game today. But then they play Miami next week, probably for a playoff spot. Because I think the Bills are going to take care of the East today.
Yeah,
because they're playing the Dolphins in what is just a torrential weather game up there in Buffalo. I don't think Atlanta's going to be able to match up at all. So then, you get a showdown. Like maybe they sleep through the first half and looking ahead. I don't know. And I would love to see New England there. They're so bad, the Jaguars. Can they hang with them for a half?
The best storyline for me, if the Eagles don't make it, I want to see New England Tampa. Give me a New England Tampa Super Bowl.
Okay.
I'm all in for that storyline. I'll be attached to all the media stuff. I'll be attached to all the interviews. I'll be in all week that week.
And I think New England's bye week, the Week 14 bye,
really helped them.
I think it hurt them. Actually,
hurt them?
Yeah, because they were playing really good football, and you have a young quarterback. Then he's got to take a week off.
That's
in week
true.
14,
and he hasn't looked the same.
And what did they do? They played Buffalo in Week 15.
Right.
And now what are we in? What are we, Week 16?
The three pass game, yeah. Week 17. Right.
We're in 17, so they played somebody in the middle there. But, I don't know. I didn't.
Okay. We got the G-Men going to Chicago, which could be the worst game of the week.
Pass. I don't care. I'm not putting any money on it.
Chicago -6.5, but okay.
The Bears are 6.5 point favorites. The Bears shouldn't be 6.5 point favorites against the Ocean County JV squad. That game sucks.
Yes.
I'm not giving an opinion on that game. Is Justin Fields playing?
I have no clue. No clue.
Who cares? Just skip it. We're not putting. No.
All right, then you got the Tampa Bay going to New York. Tampa minus 14 going into New York.
These big spreads in the NFL, there's more and more of them each week over
Yeah.
each year. Like the parity that they pride themselves on is going down the tubes.
It seems like Evans is playing.
Evans and Brown are in.
Right.
Le'Veon Bell, I guess
Le'Veon Bell's probably going to get a couple touches.
Try and play football.
Yeah.
They do have Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones, he's pretty good.
He's my big play for daily fantasy. If you're taking anyone, you're taking Ronald Jones.
And what, has Brady ever lost to the Jets ever?
Yeah, I'm laying the 14 here.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
And then here's another 14er. Atlanta going to Buffalo.
Yeah, I love Buffalo here.
Yeah, taking that too.
So that's my 3. I have Baltimore plus 6.5, Vegas plus 8, and Buffalo minus 14. Those are my 3. Cut above.
Big win.
Yeah.
Big plays. All right, going to the 4 o'clock game. We're going to start with the big spread one. Houston going to San Fran, 13.5. I'm all over Houston here.
They've won 2 straight.
And I don't think Houston's going to win, but I don't think they lose by 2 touchdowns to Trey Lance. No, it's in San Fran.
Okay, so they're on the road. This Davis Mills guy, I mean,
he's not bad.
No.
Yeah, he's not bad.
No.
I'm just not. I can't lay 2 touchdowns.
I can't
for Trey Lance, who, when the games he played looked horrible. So I can't do it. I'm taking Houston.
I'm with you. Yeah, I'll get behind that.
Then we got Denver going to the Chargers, going to L.A. Minus 7.5 Chargers, who have looked pretty bad, and this is a must-win. Do they win by over a touchdown? I'm taking the Chargers here. I think
you want the Chargers? Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a game where they're going to say,
I have no idea.
We are a playoff team.
I have no idea what they're doing out there. You look at their team and they shouldn't have a problem.
Right, they've
beating the Texans.
They've been the biggest roller coaster team this year. Yeah,
it's like they'll have Eckler back.
Right, who's having a heck of a year, heck of a player when he's healthy. He's had a lot of injury problems over his career.
Like the guy Jackson is fill in.
Played real nice. Yeah,
one
Justin
of the reasons
Jackson.
I'm in my fantasy championship this week. Obviously, I can't play him this week because Eckler's back. And
right,
it's just not a good mix. But he has a good game, but then he fumbles the ball. You know?
I do want to give a little shout out before we get to this one. Jeff, our resident Cowboy fan,
Jeff,
he's got a nice jersey on today.
Yeah.
Got the what's that? The military.
He doesn't have the
Micah
traditional
Parsons
blue that I want to throw up every time I say. So I guess we can give him a little.
It's a nice jersey. Rocking the nice jersey and wearing the all-campus Cowboys hat. There you go. So going to that, we got Arizona going to Big D. Minus 6.5, Dallas.
See, I'm taking the 6.5 here.
You're liking Dallas?
No, I'm liking.
You want the points. Okay.
I want the points. Yeah.
So am I.
It's a 21-gun salute rule.
Okay.
So Dallas won 58-10 last week, whatever it was. So teams that win by 21 points, usually the following week, they don't cover the spread. I think it's like 63% of the time.
Right.
So I'll play that.
I just think that's a lot of points too to give to a very high potent offense that's just been looking bad lately. Yeah, but
who's that? Dallas?
Yeah. I do see this being a game where
they got to show
Murray's going to be on his horse.
Arizona has to show up at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, is this like the kind of guy that we have in Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury that they're just going to run through the league until October,
big games,
until Halloween, and then from Halloween on they're just going to lay egg after egg?
Right.
That Christmas game was embarrassing.
Correct.
Christmas night. Yep. It was Christmas night, right, when they played the Colts.
Oh, that was ugly.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah,
that was an embarrassing loss. The Colts have Darius Leonard out, their whole offensive line's out, and you're just committing silly penalty after silly penalty and turnovers and sloppiness. And Cliff Kingsbury just did not have his boys ready to go at home on a holiday, which is a tough spot. I'm not going to say it's not, but
going into Dallas, though, that offensive line for Arizona is bad, and that defensive line is really clicking for Dallas.
Yeah,
Hopkins is out. Yeah,
he might play in the playoffs, but not today.
And that's going to be a big loss because they're going to need to do the 3 steps and out because he's going to be under a lot of duress today. Detroit going to Seattle. Seattle minus 8.5, another complete meaningless game.
No,
but
I don't care.
We're going to leave that one.
What's the spread?
8.5.
Who's playing again?
Detroit going to Seattle.
Well, Goff's out.
Yes. Timmy Boyle gets to go.
Dude, I like Timmy B. A solid guy.
Swift is back.
Swift is going to play today, yes. And they have Amon-Ra St. Brown, the best name in the whole league.
Go. We're going to leave it alone.
Yeah.
We'll leave it alone. Going to Carolina, going to New Orleans, 6.5. I'm going to take New Orleans. I know it's a meaningless game, but.
Sure. Who's their quarterback these days?
Yeah, who knows? Doesn't matter.
Simeon, Taysom Hill.
That defense is
good.
You
see they tried to Sean Payton was hitting up Drew Brees to come back.
Yeah, Drew Brees sent the golf picture back.
Yeah, Drew Brees sent him a selfie of him taking a golf swing in flip-flops.
In Hawaii, I believe.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he goes in the booth with NBC.
Right.
And he just sits there and has no responsibility just to tell people that, how the game's going to go or what he would have done. It's the best job ever. Oh, Ian Book.
Yeah.
From Notre Dame. Yeah, I saw that coming a mile away.
All right, so actually I'm gonna leave that game off because we're at 11. You're gonna do it 12.
Okay.
So we'll get the night game in. Minnesota going to Green Bay, which on paper looked like it was going to be the best game of the week, and then you lose Kirk Cousins, and now it's turned into. It's
got to be a huge spread.
12. That's big.
I think I saw it's going to be 8 degrees in Green Bay.
Yeah, it's going to be real cold, yeah.
I mean, look, the Packers, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They have a good line. They have Aaron Rodgers. They have good defense. So, I mean, outside of Dalvin Cook just running for 3 bills on them.
Right.
I think that.
Yeah, I'm taking the 12, yeah.
We'll just lay it. Sean Mannion's going to play.
Yeah. And then the Monday night game, you got Cleveland going to Pittsburgh. Cleveland minus 3.5. I'm all over Pittsburgh. I think this is the game where Big Ben says thank you. He goes for 4 touchdowns, 300, and he says goodbye.
You're confident. I mean, I don't really. Usually, I like to fade stuff like that.
Right.
So, Big Ben will be too hopped up and press and maybe not do as well as he would want.
I don't think he's going to be hopped up. I literally think this is a swan song. I think this is the goodbye. I appreciate everything. I'm going to leave you with good mememories, and I'm going.
You're confident.
Yeah.
You sold me. We're good.
So we'll take the 3.5. Yep.
Oh, we're getting
3.5. Yeah.
In Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. Yep. Yeah, Baker's been horrible. I don't think that's going to change against Pittsburgh.
He stinks.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 pick. That was on Christmas too. 4 pick. Come on, bro.
All right, so we got our 12. We'll put our famous dollar on it.
I feel really good about this one.
For
I think
the
this is our day.
Of $2,458.
Woo!
It's a lock, boys. It's a lock.
Oh, yeah. Fantasy question. Dynasty. Dallas D or Chicago D against the Giants?
You know what? I'm going to say Dallas because of the potential of...
Yeah, they can get a score.
Getting a score. And I do think they're going to rack up 4 sacks this game. Right?
Arizona's offensive line is just
garbage.
It's just not. They're just... I don't understand. Is it coaching there?
I don't know what it is. It's got to be their play style.
Really good football players at every level.
Right.
They should not be scuffling every year down the stretch like they're doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's look at it from a Philadelphia point of view where we're saying we're going into the playoffs. We're built to be a playoff team. Arizona is the complete opposite. where they're built as a college team. Let's not kid ourselves. It's a college coach. It's a college scheme. They're not built for winter, get in the trenches type of play.
But like, do
and
they
that's
have
playoff,
to be? They're playing in Arizona. They're playing
but
in
that's
the
playoff
desert.
football. That's playoff football. And that's never going to change. Yeah, that's never going to change in the NFL. If you can't run the ball, you're not winning in the playoffs. The only team I can remember being like that was Peyton Manning when he went to Denver, where he had that record-breaking years and he was slinging the ball all over the place. But even that team in the playoffs started running the ball good. They had a really good defense, yeah.
Yoki Brown, he wants to know if he should start Boston Scott or Jordan Howard. I like Scott.
I would say Scott if I had between those two. I would say Scott.
Look, these Stingers are no joke.
Yeah, I think the re-injury issue is going to be tough. If we didn't lose Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard's not playing today. The only reason he's playing is because we're down a running back.
I agree with that.
Right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Big time. So, like, I don't know. Maybe you can jump out early and you can give Jordan a blow.
But the problem is, you say he's only going to be about 10 touches. Are those 10 touches, is he stealing touchdowns?
Yeah, I mean, I think that when they get to the goal line.
Then he could have a better game than Scott just by stealing the touchdowns. Right? So in fantasy, it's a completely different world than regular football. Scott could get 75 yards, 4 catches, and have less points in fantasy because Jordan gets the 2 touchdowns.
Touchdowns are unpredictable. I kind of try and take the touchdown factor out of it, like when I'm trying to make these decisions. It's like that's icing on the cake, the touchdown. Especially when you get into the guys that are like your flex guys or the guys like you got like who's more likely to have 100 yards and a couple catches and get you your double-digit points without scoring a touchdown. I think that's Boston Scott. I think that's Boston Scott today.
Yeah.
But yeah, could Jordan Howard have 3 carries for 3 yards and 3 touchdowns? Sure. And that would obviously be more fantasy points than a Boston Scott racking up some yardage.
To his question, I would lean towards Scott. Yeah.
Let me make sure.
For all the points that we said. We got a couple minutes. Do you want to give your score prediction here?
Yeah. What's the over-under? 44 and a half.
44
and a half. I like an over.
Okay.
So I'm going to go, and maybe not over.
I like the over. But I like it by a half a point. I like
27-17, something like that.
Right. That's about where I am.
27-17 Eagles, player of the game. Devonta Smith. I think Devonta Smith gets his 93 yards, and I think he sets the Eagles rookie record for rookie receiving yards in a season, breaking Deshaun Jackson's record.
Okay.
I do think the Eagles go over 160 on the ground, so I think they'll break that record as well. The touchdown record, I think they'll get that next week. 5
touchdowns?
5 touchdowns over the last 2 games to set the Eagles franchise record for rushing touchdowns in a season.
I'm going to go 27-14 Eagles. And I got Jalen Hurts, as I told you. I got Jalen Hurts starting in my daily today. I think he is going to be the goal line running back today. I think he gets 2 rushing touchdowns today. That's going to be my bet, my off bet. Today is Jalen Hurts with 2 rushing touchdowns.
2+ touchdowns. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I want a fast start.
Okay.
Let's take the ball and let's go up 7-0.
I would love it.
Make them think about it a little, and maybe they'll fold up.
Right.
Nathan Augustine have to make playoffs first, and we'll see who they play. If Niners lose, Eagles might be 6th seed and face Cardinals or Rams at number 3. Listen, I'm
okay with the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals.
I wouldn't hold your breath about being the number 5 seed. Or the
6th seed?
number 5 seed or the number 6 seed.
I think the 6th seed's doable. right? I mean, we're there.
I mean,
besides the
I guess.
tiebreaker because San Fran beat us, I think we'll be there with them today, right? San Fran loses, we win. And then you go into next week, you never know what happens.
And then you got maybe Trey Lance will lay an egg for us.
Right. Oh, I think he does. I mean, we'll see. Give me.
That's what I want.
Give me Dallas.
And I would rip your heart
would
out.
love to have Dallas in the first round.
All the pressure no matter who the Eagles play, because they're going to be playing a big bad wolf.
Right.
It's going to be a team that's going to have Super Bowl aspirations, and the Eagles are going to be significant underdogs.
Yeah.
All the pressure is going to be on Dallas, Green Bay, Tampa, whoever they play.
Right,
all the pressure is going to be on the other side of the ball.
And none of them want to see Philly.
Because
Dallas, you don't want to see Philly. You guys don't want to see Philly, and no team wants to see. You rather give me Minnesota, give me someone else, right? Like it's just Philadelphia would be a good hard matchup for any first round playoff. Bucks. Yeah, Bucks are
They're all right there. I think they all have 4 losses, and then Green Bay has 3 losses.
Right.
All right, it's 1 o'clock. We're going to get out of here. Game's about to start.
Let's go Birds.
Thank you, everyone who liked, followed, shared, subscribed to the show. Stay tuned. Rant Booth, Jetro Lot, next week, Eagles, Cowboys. Hopefully it doesn't get flexed.
Yeah.
I don't think it will. We're going. Hopefully it'll be sewn up, but Eagles Dallas is always a fun time. I don't care if it's not for anything.
Yep.
So we're going down there.
Keep following us and get the updates on A2D, guys. All right?
A2D. Thank you to Ralphie for producing the show. Does a great job as usual. Until next Sunday,